GSPartners got another fraud warning from Canada, but first, I want to talk about lawsuits. Brandon here from Ponzi Patrol. Welcome back to the channel. If you're not subscribed already, go ahead and do that. It really helps to spread awareness about scams like GSPartners. Today, I want to talk about GSPartners and their promoters. They all like to threaten slander lawsuits against anyone who shares publicly available information that you can easily find online about GSPartners. And also, whenever you're sharing your opinion, like me saying that GSPartners is a Ponzi scheme, anybody with any financial knowledge would know that GSPartners is most likely a Ponzi scheme. I'm saying that it's 100% a Ponzi scheme, but other people will just say it's probably a scam. It's probably a Ponzi scheme. The thing is, it's not illegal to say that something is a scam or a Ponzi scheme if most of the facts point to it, especially whenever governments are issuing fraud warnings about it. The funny part about this is that most of the GSPartners promoters are felons. It's very ironic that felons would be threatening legal action against someone who's just sharing their opinion and publicly available information online. They probably would refer to themselves as a snitch, if I had to guess. Let me jump into sharing my screen with you really fast, and I'll show you some of these guys before I cover this fraud warning from Quebec. First, let's talk about Fard Madi. Fard Madi has commented quite a few times on my channel. I think Fard Madi seems to be about 5'5" and has what they call little man syndrome. I don't mean to height shame anyone, but the way he acts is very much like little man syndrome. We had a call actually, and it was so bad that I couldn't post it because he just yelled over me the entire time and interrupted and didn't let me say anything. So it would have done anyone any good if I would have posted the call.
Can you please go to Google and type in definition
Google?
Definition.
No, we're not going to Google. I'm in the GSPartners back office. All your facts right here. Damn, Google, that's your problem. You don't Google too much. That's your problem. Those are articles. Who cares? Those are articles. We're dealing with actual facts here.
What's the definition of a Ponzi scheme?
Now, I know the Ponzi scheme is, but you can't tell me what I know. I know the Ponzi scheme is.
Well, it doesn't sound like it. So
no, it doesn't sound like you know the Ponzi scheme is. A Ponzi scheme is when everybody don't get their money.
No. That's hilarious.
That's a Ponzi.
No, it's not.
That's a Ponzi.
No, it's not.
That's the definition. That's the definition of a Ponzi. If we got money coming in and it's my money going over here, and then when I try to get my money, it's not there, and it's going to these other investors on the other side or in the ecosystem or whatever like that. But I can't get my money.
No,
that's a Ponzi.
The definition of a Ponzi, man.
This guy likes to comment on the channel here, and here's one of his posts. He says he also can't find one person to say they can't withdraw their funds to GSPartner. For a system to be declared a Ponzi scheme, there has to be someone claiming they tried to withdraw their funds but couldn't. Without someone saying they cannot get their funds, it's just someone's own opinion. And this actually couldn't be further from the truth. A Ponzi scheme is basically just where the money that's paid out is from new investors. That's all that is. That's the definition of a Ponzi scheme. And he has no clue what he's talking about here. Just because people are getting paid out currently doesn't mean that it's not a Ponzi scheme. That's the most important thing for people to remember, because what happens is people deposit money into a Ponzi scheme. Even if it's a small amount, they see it grow, and then they deposit more and more and more money because it seems like it's working. And then now after they've deposited their life savings, then it collapses. That's how Ponzi schemes get people, because they offer these large returns. So this guy posts on his Facebook here and says he was released from the federal penitentiary October 6, 2016, and he served 9 years in prison. So there's one felon down that I wanted to talk about. This guy is clueless and he's unemployable. I think that that's the theme here. These people are unemployable. So what they do is they turn to committing more felonies by offering unregistered securities whenever they're unlicensed to sell securities, punishable by up to 10 years in prison. Okay, so the next person I want to talk about is Chris Voorhees.
let's find, here's Chris Voorhees. This guy, great last name, by the way, but he's been promoting carrot bars since here in 2019, probably even earlier. He's went through every iteration of the GSPartners scams, the Joseph Hite scams. He was promoting carrot bars, and that collapsed. He doesn't talk about that. He also was promoting G999, which is a cryptocurrency put out by Joseph Hite and GSPartners, and that collapsed. He was saying it was going to make everyone millionaires, that if you invested $2,000, you'd be a millionaire. He was posting this on his Facebook page. Well, he actually has been arrested for felonies as well here. So this is his mugshot from, when is this, 2016, and felony, right? So I don't know what all charges he's had, but these charges here are for this statute, driving without a license for the third or subsequent offense. It's a felony. I'm not sure if it's been put on his record, but he was charged with it. He's likely unemployable. He's probably made everyone around him angry. No one wants to talk to him anymore because he just pushes Ponzi schemes. He's also invested in NovaTech from what I saw on his Facebook page. And the last one, but certainly not the least one, is Von Charles Murill. So Charlie, as he goes by in real life. We actually had a call on my YouTube channel. You can check that out here. That call, he was basically the entire time saying, well, you've never been arrested by law enforcement. Clearly, you wouldn't be saying these things if you have gone through the system. And so that got me thinking, what is he talking about? After that call, I found that Charlie here, Von Charles Murill, was arrested and charged for ambushing a Las Vegas police officer. Now, his girlfriend cheated on him, apparently. Let's see if I can find this here. There's badge cam footage of this as well. Actually, you know what? Here's the badge cam footage.
You ain't. Look at you. You look like a little white piece of print.
The tape? Yeah, I'll go get them.
Hey, officer, answer for me.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, you're real strong with that gun, aren't you? Die! Shots fired!
Okay, so now that we've seen that, this guy, Charlie here, the reason why he ambushed the police, here it is. He posted, "Don't cheat, ladies. I would like to say F the police and the US government. Goodbye and love for all the good people left." And someone said, "Got what you deserved, loser." And that's because Charlie was actually shot by the police after he pulled the BB gun on them. This guy has a felony. He's currently going through a lawsuit in Missouri right now. I don't want to go into all the details there, but he's had a lot of criminal offenses. So he's got this one. He lost his insurance license. He recently, I think as a year or two ago, had a trespass. I'm actually going to make a video about Charlie coming up soon in the next couple of weeks. So make sure you're subscribed for that. But this is just another example of a felon that's pushing GSPartners. And the reason why they do this, again, is because they're unemployable. They are pushing these scams so that they can make a little bit of money. And I don't have any problem with people being creative to make money, but whenever you turn to committing scams and fraud, like all these people are committing fraud. They are selling unregistered securities illegally. They're not licensed to do so, and what they're selling is illegal. So this seems to be a theme. Felons promoting GSPartners, so it is quite funny that they are trying to talk about suing me.
These guys are hilarious, but the sad part is GSPartners actually does sue people, and they have silenced quite a few people for spreading, from what I can tell, true information about them. If these things are publicly available online, then how could it possibly be slander? If I'm telling my opinion In the US, that's not considered slander. So I'm not too worried about it. The only problem is that a lawsuit would be expensive to fight, which is what GSPartners does. They try to hit people where it hurts, which is in their wallet. I will continue to put out videos like this as long as a lawyer is telling me that it's okay. I know that I'm going to have a lot of people in these comments here saying that I'm going to get sued for this again, just like they have in all of my other videos, but I will keep posting.
Okay, so let's get into this fraud warning here from Quebec. So I'm not going to try to pronounce this. I'm just going to call it the AMF because that's going to be the short version. I don't speak French. They have issued a warning about GSPartners. So if you just search GSPartners Global on their website, I'll actually leave a link to this in the description of the video. You will see that they say GSPartners is not registered with the AMF and is not authorized to solicit investors in Quebec. This is essentially a securities fraud warning in Quebec. So there's already another one. I believe that one's in Alberta. I'll leave a link to that in the description below, where Alberta said that it was G999 and GS Trade, which is here as well. So they called them, or they said that they were being fraudsters. Sorry, I'm getting that confused with BD Swiss. BD Swiss called GSPartners fraudsters. But here, what we have is Quebec saying that this is a fraudulent company. This is a securities fraud warning, essentially, out of Quebec. And Alberta said the same thing about GS Trade and G999, which are subsidiaries of GSB Global Bank Standard, or Gold Bank Standard here.
There you have it, the second fraud warning from Canada about GSPartners. Do not get involved with this company. It may be paying out for now, but it will eventually collapse or it will get shut down by governments around the world, kind of like Carrot Bars, which is a previous iteration of GSPartners. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel to stay up to date on Ponzi schemes. Until next time, keep patrolling.